innovation for First Data Corporation. So for those of you who might not be familiar with First Data, these are our speeds and feeds relative to the company. So we're the world's largest processor of electronic payments. I think in terms of context, the way to sort of think about First Data, our business really kind of spans the issuing services or issuer processing world, where we have a large constituency of financial institutions who we provide really a full service, full range of services around issuing. So everything from personalizing and programming cards to accounts on file to statements and call centers. So we're very sort of, as we look at mobile payments and commerce in general, very focused on all the things that happen and change in the issuer world as consumers' credentials no longer are really burned onto a card. They're really kind of now resident in their mobile device or in cloud. On the other side of our business, which is probably about 75% of our business, we are really the leader in acquirer processing. So we serve merchants in that capacity. Everyone from Walmart to the smallest, most local merchant on Main Street, with really kind of enabling them to accept payments. So the point around context for us as we think about mobile payment and commerce is we really kind of sit in the crossroads, if you will, things that are happening on both sides of the counter when it comes to how consumers sort of use their or access their wealth to pay for stuff, and whether that's in a physical setting or in a virtual setting, or increasingly how those lines blur. So we handled about 53 billion transactions last year, as an example, and we also have about 1,700 financial institution clients, and we touch about 6 million merchant points of sale. So in terms of perspective, I think one perspective I would share, building on Phil's comments, I think in here is that if you think about this from a retail standpoint, there's so much changing, and a lot of it really is a function of consumers changing their shopping journey, right? So to the extent our shopping journey used to be go down to a physical store, buy something, or if you were in a web channel, you key enter your card details, or in the case of an Amazon, you might one click, but you remained in that channel. Your shopping journey went from start to finish in that channel. Mobility and this confluence of technology that Phil mentioned, now we are all really kind of moving across channels. We have an expectation that our shopping journey is going to be seamless, as we may start from a tethered machine at home and then move that to a mobile device or a smart device, and then carry that into the store. We may not even consummate the purchase there, right? We may showroom, which is the term that retailers are all very focused on and how to combat to a certain degree, but then really consummate that transaction once again in a mobile channel that has nothing to do with the physical retail footprint. And so for us, from a First Data perspective, a lot of our work is really involved in how we help retailers and certainly issuers alike to effectively reimagine everything. The way in which a consumer no longer carries their credentials on a plastic card, but virtually perhaps on a secure element or a chip that's in a device, or they want to just access it from the cloud easily and securely. And for merchants, how do we enable, at least for the payment portion, many of the things that we've helped provide and take friction out of in the past? How does that change, and how do we ensure that payment is in the right place at the right time across that multi-channel shopping experience? But that's not the only thing that's changing, and I think as a matter of perspective, what I would tell you is, while payments was sort of in the middle of the hub, and some of the visuals that you saw, increasingly for retailers, and certainly this is true for issuers and technology providers, this is about value-added services. This is about the other things that really deliver on a consumer experience that is truly much more valuable, one that helps consumers save time, get convenience, as well as saving money. So many of the things that we're doing from an innovation perspective have to do with how payments is simply in the right place at the right time. It's just there and it works and it's frictionless, but it's really kind of connected to a range of other value-added services that ensure that I never miss out on a discount or that deal, for example, because as coupons or particularly incentives, things of that nature become virtual and part of that very connected and multi-channel shopping experience. So a lot of the things that we focus on within the lab in our innovation work have to do with empathy, right? Where are consumers going? for a business to consumer company such as First Data, we have really muscled up in our ability to understand where consumers are headed, because that, frankly, is where our traditional customers, as well as the customers in the future, are going, right? Millennials are representing a larger and larger portion of our customer base at all levels, all shapes and sizes of merchant, as well as financial institution, and their users, their end consumers, are truly kind of getting to that point, as Ginger shared with you, where this is an expectation. My mobile device connects me, and I'm in the middle of all of this, and I expect it to help me beat the system, help me live smarter, be a savvier shopper, have more access to my wealth and things of that nature. So I'll just wrap with saying we think about all of this through a lens we kind of refer to as universal commerce, just to kind of get you another buzzword out there. But the point here is it's not about just the mobile channel, it's not just about the e-channel, it's not about the physical store channel, it's about all of it, and at some point all of that working in a way that's seamless, that really enables a consumer to do more and meet the expectations that I think we are truly in the early innings of just seeing. So, and there's a number of facets around that really are consuming our energy and our focus and where we're investing, and that has to do with enabling smart devices on both sides of the counter, having and delivering on much more open web services infrastructure, right, that enable those kinds of capabilities to be accessed by both sort of traditional brands that we know and that are doing a tremendous amount of work in this area, as well as non-traditional new technology partners to the space who are trying to solve some of these problems. And doing it in a very partner ecosystem-oriented way. And the other thing I'll say here is, relative to those value-added services, the notion of data, not just big data, but data that's in the right place at the right time to enable the kinds of experiences that consumers are looking for becomes very, very important and an area of focus for us. So those are just, hopefully that's a quick, helpful summary on First Data, and then I'll turn it over to Mark.